Okay, boys and girls, good morning. This is your second lesson for today, which is kind of piggybacking on your first lesson in writing. So, you are all writing a story right now. I'm kind of slowing down and going back to basics, and I talked to you guys about beginning, middle, end, right? Beginning, the middle, of an end of a story. So, we did the middle of a story today. Yesterday, we did beginning of a story. So, in this lesson, we're going to break that down a little bit further. We're going to talk about something called plot. And I know that you guys learned about this last year in sixth grade. So, the plot of a story is essentially the beginning, middle, and end, but with a little bit more detail to it. So, we are going to play this short video, and I'm going to pause it every now and then. I would like for you guys to that you have a graphic organizer in Google Classroom. I'd like for you guys to actually, you know what? I'd like for you guys to take out your notebooks. In your notebooks, I want you to draw what you're about to see and take some notes on this presentation. So just follow along as we go here. So you can pause this video now and draw a roller coaster, draw like a triangle in your notebooks right now, and please title it Plot Story Elements. And the date today is August 26th.
Elements that make up a story. Plot is one of those 5 basic elements. The plot is a term for the main events in the story. The main events happen in a certain order, and so the plot is sometimes also referred to as the storyline. Looking at it more closely, the plot can be further broken down into 5 parts. It's helpful to imagine those 5 parts as a roller coaster ride. The first part of the plot is
Okay, so you can go ahead and draw something like this. You start right here at the bottom, and then you go up, and then you come down like this.
called the exposition.
Please write the word exposition down. The exposition, boys and girls, is the beginning of the story. Just gonna do a shortened version, is the beginning of the story. So everything we talked about yesterday about how to write a beginning, you have it in your exposition. So you've got your setting, so describing the setting. And then you've got an introduction of the characters. Okay, I'm just going to do a little. All right, so it's essentially, notice the word position in here, exposition. The word position means you're kind of giving a framework of the position of the story. Where are we at in the story? What's happened? Who's going to start the story? That's the position of the beginning of the story. So you have your setting and you have your characters, and that's something we talked about yesterday.
The exposition is simply the beginning of the story. Here, the author introduces the characters and establishes the setting. The next part is the rising action.
Okay, so the rising action, kiddos, is the middle of the story. So this is the beginning part of the middle. This is the middle of the story. And this is normally, I know it doesn't quite look like the middle, but all right here would be the middle of the story. We're kind of building up. And then, as you know, up at the top, we talked about in my previous video today, we have climax. We'll talk about climax when we get there. Okay, but the middle of the story includes, so an introduction of the problem. Is there a problem that the characters are facing? The characters are also trying to solve this problem, finding ways that we can get what we want. Problems can also have something called conflict. Maybe the problem of the characters is that they're in some kind of conflict, trying to get what they want, trying to achieve something. And so we don't know how they're going to solve it, and they don't know how they're going to solve it, but they're trying to at this point. This is the rising action.
This is where the conflict of the story is revealed. During the rising action, the main character encounters some sort of problem that creates tension, such as when the wolf blows down the little pig's house. The climax is the next part of the plot. It is the most exciting part of the story and the point where there is a change in the direction of the story and its course of events.
So basically, at the very top of the story, you find out the solution. The characters find a way to solve their problem. Maybe they have solved it and we find out about how they solved it. That's essentially where C for climax, the story kind of turns. It's like, oh my gosh, we have this problem. We have this problem. What are we going to do? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I think I see something. Oh my gosh, I think this is it. We solved the problem. That's where it happens. And then all the way down the roller coaster, we have something called a resolution. Okay, so what are the events happening after the problem? Okay.
In The Three Little Pigs, this would be when the wolf gets frustrated and tries to enter the brick house through the chimney. The next part is the falling action. It occurs right after the climax. The tension from the conflict starts to decrease, and the story events
Sorry, I said resolution. I meant falling action, and then the resolution is over here.
wind down or settle toward an end. The falling action in The Three Little Pigs is when the wolf lands in the hot soup pot and gets burned. The last part of the plot is the resolution. Here, the problem of the story is solved and the story ends. In The Three Little Pigs, this is when the wolf runs away and disappears into the forest.
Created using Powtoon. Okay, so you have your story elements. I hope you all took notes on that. If you did not, I want you to replay it and take some notes on it. So what you're going to do is I'm going to post a video of the story Too Many Tamales by Gary Soto. I want you to watch that video and I want you to write in your plot. Okay, what happens in each of the boxes here? Okay, you're going to finish the story. I know we haven't talked about the end of that story yet, but you're going to finish it, and I want to see how well you can do it, or if you can just what you're able to do. If you have any questions, please watch that video again. Watch it again and kind of look at the story again and really think about it. Additionally, if you watched the video from yesterday, my instructional video from yesterday, I kind of break down the beginning of the story for you, the introduction, the exposition. It's also called the introduction. So I break it down for you. I kind of give you the answers to the exposition, introduction, and then also the rising action from today's video. So rewatch those videos from yesterday and today, and you can kind of get your first two answers. And the climax, you'll find your answer about the climax in today's video. And see if you can figure out what events take place in the falling action. So essentially, you're just going to type. You're not going to have this. This is how I design my presentations for you. But you're going to type in. This will be in a Google Slides. Christmas time. Just take notes on the story element. So it's snowing outside, and this is on Too Many Tamales by Gary Soto. In the kitchen, and then you list the characters: Maria, mom, and siblings making tamales. So this would be our introduction. This would be our the answer to the first one, and then kind of go up and down as you go. But this is how you type in the notes. This is how you type in what happens in the story. It doesn't have to be full paragraphs of the story itself. That's why we read the story. Just go ahead and take some bullet point notes in each of these sections here to fill out your plot breakdown. And please submit when you have finished that. All right. Again, this is for your second class period. Your first class period was your writing. When the bell rings, then you start this. Okay, I'm trying to pace it out for you guys. All right, please email me if you have any questions.